Assuming Knuckles' APR had actually put Youpi into bankruptcy, how would that fight then have gone? Let's talk about it, and shout out to Aurora for the support. All right, so if bankruptcy had actually gone off, then Youpi would have been absolutely cooked. He would have had no shot, not in the 1v1, and certainly not in like the 1v5 that he was actually faced with. So let me explain why. So Knuckles' ability is actually really cool, but it's also really complicated. So all we're going to talk about is what happens when you go bankrupt. And at that point, the APR sprite turns into the IRS sprite. Very fitting name, right? And it will then haunt you for 30 days because of your debt. And that takes the shape of making you spend 30 days in Zetsu. And for those that don't remember, Zetsu means you cannot use Nin at all. Now, Youpi is obviously built like a truck, but his physique and natural strength are going to be meaningless in the face of Nin. Because if he can't use Nin, he can't defend with Nin, which means even a normal Nin user is going to be able to do substantial damage with just normal strikes, not to mention their actual techniques. This is why Killua made it a point to protect Gon for the next 30 days while he was afflicted with bankruptcy because he was essentially defenseless for that entire month. But now I want to address the specific point that Aurora brought up, which is the Pito versus Kite fight. And I think there was just a little bit of a misunderstanding here because Pito in his fight with Kite absolutely used Nin. So there's a difference between, let's say, like being ignorant of Nin and maybe not necessarily knowing everything about it and how to best utilize it, and Zetsu. Because again, Zetsu means you just straight up cannot use it, whereas Pito would be a novice, sure, but still had full access to Nin. But so yeah, bankruptcy is just broken, which is why it was their initial plan to deal with Meruem, because basically anyone that's in a state of Zetsu that is forced to fight a Nin user is going to get destroyed.